Hello folks, I'm Téuri, and today I'm going to show you a very interesting application for you who DM tabletop RPGs to prepare your games in a very visual way. Actually, it's not an application, it's a website called Alchemy Studio. And in this video, I'm going to give you a complete tutorial on how to use that and how it works. First of all, I'll let the link here in the description below. You can check by yourself and follow along you watch this video. So it's very important to note that Alchemy Studio is in beta version, so you might find some bugs. And if you do so, please report for them to improve the software. In the homepage you can check the blog, the releases, the user manual, and the FAQ. Let's log in here, and you can use your Discord or Google account to log in, or you can create an account. Once you logged in, this is the main page in Alchemy. Here you have your modules. They call modules every page you have inside, and it is called modules because it can be anything, literally anything. It could be an adventure, it could be a dungeon, it could be a heist, or it could be everything mashed up together in the same module. You won't have anything here because your account is new, but I have some here I was testing. You can create a new module here, creating an empty board. This is an infinite board. You can expand for any side you want. And you have some templates here, for templates for dungeons, templates for adventures, heists, and so on. Here you have the settings. This is where you can change your display name, select if you're using a mouse or a trackpad. Here you can send feedback if you find some bugs or any feature you're missing, and some useful links here. And you can also join them on Discord. Let's create a new module for you to see how it works. And I'll use this module here, the hunt. This is a template. Here it shows what is it about. This is the name you can change. Look, this is the main interface of Alchemy Studio. This area here in the center is called the board, which is literally a board you can expand and move by clicking the scroll button on your mouse or the right button and dragging around. Each one of these elements is called a node, and a node is an entity by itself. You can click on a node and Alchemy will open for you this interface, which is the edit page. Here you can type your adventure like you would in a text document, like in Google Docs, for instance. You can have different headers here in the left, and here in the right, you also have a node scratch pad for you to make a brainstorm or even scratch some things. Here we have some infos about the node. We can change this. We can click to set the feature image. We have a tab here for linked nodes because we can link different nodes here. I'll show you later. And we have a tab for random tables because we can do that as well here. We have a tab for the module panel, which is a scratch pad that works for all your documents. So even if I enter another node, that scratch pad, it's not linked to this specific node. This is linked to my module. And here we can change the description for the module. This is that description we saw when we tried to create the module based on this template here. Here above, we can create other nodes. We can print this, copy, and we can close this to get back to the board. As you can see, we have the title here. And in the left, we have this menu that allows us to create new entities here in Alchemy. The first of them is the nodes, which is each one of those things here. The nodes are entities that could be literally anything. It could be a location, an entity like a creature, a clue, an event, a plot item, a hook, a challenge, resolution. There's a lot of types of nodes here. If I wanted to start a new adventure, I could create a hook here, change the name, subscribe to the channel. This is the hook. Please subscribe there. And you can enter and type anything you want. As you can see, we could create another node here, another type of node, a clue, for instance, test. And that will be it for this node. That way, we can create multiple pages here and build our adventure or our dungeon, whatever we want. This way, we can create a plot item here. If you click with your right mouse button, you have here the add node as well. You can create a plot item here. And you can link them by clicking with the right button over the node and link a node to another node you have in your board here. For instance, the plot item. Now they are linked and I can move wherever I want and they will keep linked. That is what is happening here. As you can see, we have an adventure beginning here in the Patreon, and then it goes to the quest, and then it goes to the And then you could go to the veteran or the journey or the plot twist, and you can structure it the way you want. A quick tip here is the book So You Wanna Be a Game Master from Justin Alexander. It's a great book for DMs to teach them how to structure and build an adventure using nodes. It's a very interesting book. So this is the nodes. So what are those other things here? This one is the widget. A widget could be anything that is visual. For instance, a text like that, start. This is not an entity like the node here. It's just a visual aid to help you organize things in the board or to make your board more beautiful, like this one here. They have put a lot of images below the nodes here in order to group them and make it more beautiful. We can do that by clicking here on images, and we can select any of these images. We have, for instance, this one, and click add here. Then it is added to your board. But look at that. It is over my nodes. How do I fix that? First of all, we can resize it by dragging here in this handle, and by clicking with the right button, we can change the opacity here, and we can bring it to front or to back. Let's bring it to back and change the opacity, and we could also flip it horizontal or vertical. You can add your own images here if you want. We can also lock that token for us to avoid dragging that widget if you don't want, and you can change the widget settings. A great tip here is to use a mask. You can select here, and they have some great masks here. You can use one of them by clicking add. Look at that. That's very beautiful. It kind of creates a frame for your image, and it is very, very nice. So this is it. Let's bring it back and lock it. That's it. So we can also add icons here to organize our board here, and that's a widget. Now we have an anchors. Anchors are basically links. You can link from a module to another one. So picture this situation. You have an adventure, and in the end of that adventure, it could bring the characters to another adventure. So you can link. So the final node could be an anchor that link to another module here. And I can click to select the module for the heist, for instance. And then I have an anchor here. And if I click that, it opens the other module. Very nice. You can also create an anchor to an external link like Foundry, Roll20, or any external website you want. And you also have here some random tables. That's a great tool, especially if you like some OSR games like Dungeon Crawl Classics, Old School Essentials, and so on. But tables are a great resource even in Dungeons & Dragons 24. So here we have a random table for location. If I click here, it gives me a random table here. And look, we have this symbol here, a dice symbol, which shows us that this is a random table. And if I click here, I can roll it and it will draw a different entry here. And you might be thinking, how do I create my own entries here? You have to change these locations here in the right. Look at that. We have already a lot of places here where you can create your own random table here, right? And it works the same way for all these kind of rolling tables here. And you have also a button to re-roll everything you have in the adventure. So everything is marked with a random table will be re-rolled. Let's try to do that here. Did you see? So basically I can create a template with a similar structure and random tables and have infinite adventures to play. Very, very interesting. Here on the left, you can search for your nodes, and if you can't find them here in your board because your adventure is getting very big, you can click here 2 times, and you'll be dragged to the place that node is. You can do the same for widgets and anchors. Here above, you can report a bug, you can undo and redo the last actions. You can open the editor page and have everything in your adventure here in the left in this kind of interface. You can search in all your board, see the controls here, your keyboard shortcuts, and you can find some of them here by searching. You can also access the library, that same interface we have when we log in, but here you can see everything you have uploaded. Oh, here we have South America. Great. You can add new things here, and you can export your module. I suppose some of you are thinking, so what if I build my adventures in Alchemion and I don't want to use it anymore? What if Alchemion stop existing? Well, you won't lose your work because you have the ability here to export as a raw HTML, as a PDF for you to print. This is a very nice thing if you want to build your adventures here and you will play in person. You can turn your structure here into an Alchemian Studio template, but you can also export as a markdown. And markdown is the same format used by Notion and Obsidian. Those are two great apps for preparing your campaigns. I use them a lot, and I'll do other videos here later. You can also share, generating a link for people to see your boards here. We check the settings, we can edit your module, and that's basically it. Please subscribe, let me know what you think about Alchemian, and I'll see you in the next video here in Critical Hint.